Hello everybody, welcome back to another video with Lim Reviews. Now in today's video, I'm not going to be showing my face because I'm actually down with the flu, but we still have to talk about this really impressive iQOO SD782G that just landed here in Malaysia. Now the specifications for our device here in Malaysia is way different from others in the world. What we're getting here is actually the Snapdragon 782G processor, and I think this is actually a very solid mid-ranger coming from iQOO. Let's start off and talk about the price. Now this device is retailing in Malaysia for RM1299, and apparently if you go on to Lazada, you get even like $100 off, so it's very affordable. And again, that's a Snapdragon 782G 5G inside. So let's talk a bit about this device. I would think that the iQOO Z7 here is almost perfect because there's only one single thing that I wish was improved. But let's go over it one by one. Now first and foremost, if you just take a look at the design, we have here a very beautiful and minimalist design. There's a dual camera setup, very small bump at the back here, and it's slightly curved on the sides that makes it very easy to hold. Now on the right, you do have here your volume rocker together with your power button. At the bottom, you have the Type-C port, you have stereo speakers, up and down. You also still get the headphone jack here, guys, and you also get the SIM card tray, which does not support micro SD. But otherwise, everything else looks good and it's feeling really good. Alright, so let's move on and talk a bit about the next point here, and that's all about the Snapdragon 782G. Now I actually did a very quick benchmark test so you guys can take a look, and I'm going to open it up right here. This is the Snapdragon 782G, and I'm going to put side by side together with the Nothing Phone 1. This is actually the Snapdragon 778G. So you can see right away that there's only a very minimal increase in terms of performance, about 10% I would say, but I think the more important takeaway here is that this is a very solid phone because I know a lot of you guys out there don't really like Dimensity processors for a couple of reasons. Number one, if you just go into the Mobile Legends game right away, you will notice that the graphics settings here is already supporting the Ultra graphics. So that's always something that we have come used to with Snapdragon processors, and that is the graphics supports higher graphics settings. So let's just wait for it to load a little bit more. Alright, we're in the game. We're just going to go into settings, and there we go. You can see we have ultra refresh rate and ultra graphics settings. So I've been playing Mobile Legends quite a fair bit on the iQOO Z7, so I must tell you right off the bat, it's actually a very fun experience. So performance wise, you're going to be getting a very good and strong solid mid-range performance coming from the iQOO Z7. Now just in terms of the storage and RAM, it's 8GB/128GB. Of course, there's a higher configuration of 12/256, but mine here is the base version that again is just slightly more than 1,200 ringgit. Alright, so again, this is just a very quick hands-on first impressions, not a full review, just so you know. And let's talk about the next thing that I really like here, and that is actually the display. Now we do have a 120Hz display. That means everything here is going to be super smooth, you know, navigating everything. In fact, the touch sampling rate is 1200Hz. So if you're playing games a lot, you will be able to get that very sensitive kind of feedback directly on the display. Now I did mention earlier on in the video, the one main thing that I felt was the main issue with this phone is the lack of an AMOLED panel. Yes guys, this is an LCD panel. Now I know iQOO definitely had to cut some corners in order to give us such a good package, but this is an LCD panel, so you know, I hope this is not a deal breaker for you. We still get that selfie cutout, you know, better than the teardrop notch that we see on other phones that are even more expensive than this. So otherwise, still a fairly decent display here. A very quick tip to get a slightly nicer display is that maybe you can put a very nice wallpaper, set it to vivid, you know, make it a bit more saturated, and you should get something that looks a little bit more like AMOLED. Alright, let's move on to the next point here and talk a bit about the battery and the charging. What we have here is a 5000 mAh battery inside, and the best part is that it does come with the 120-watt flash charger, guys. So apparently this will do 0 to 100% in just 26 minutes, and again, that is very fast for a mid-range device. Now another thing I noticed really cool on this device here is not just that it has stereo speakers, but you know, iQOO actually put in the X-axis haptics for us. So whenever you type on it, the vibrations are those short, very crisp vibrations that you don't really see on a lot of phones these days. This is actually something that a lot of manufacturers overlook when making their phones, but the X-axis haptic engine really makes a difference here. If you are a person who appreciates nice haptics, let me know down in the comment section below. Alright, so next final thing we want to talk about here is actually about the cameras at the back. Now we do have a dual stereo camera setup. This is being led by a 64MP camera with OIS, so that means you have that image stabilizing stabilization. The second one is not that useful. It's a 2 megapixel depth sensor for those portrait images. Again, I think it's quite good because there's minimal bump here and you do have OIS. I will be testing out the camera capabilities on these devices here, and I'll be sharing that in an upcoming post. But otherwise, so far, yes, I know we are lacking an ultra wide, but you do have that 64MP with OIS. Now, last but not least, all I can say here is that for the price of 1299 here in Malaysia, you're getting a very solid package with the iQOO Z7. Let me know if I am wrong. Not only do you get the Snapdragon 782G, you get the 120Hz display, 64 megapixels with OIS, the X-axis haptic engine, and yeah, it's just a pretty good package here. Let me know what you guys think about this device. If you are planning to get an affordable phone, is this something that you might consider? Let me know down in the comment section below. Last but not least, thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to drop a like, sub to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Stay safe, everybody. Bye.